Okay, hey, welcome back, class. Before we get started on our next unit, let's review what causes chemical reactions so that you have a base understanding or at least remember um, some of the stuff in which we are going to expand upon in the rest of this unit. Our goal for this video is that we give a reminder of what chemical reactions are and how they occur. Our first thing that we probably should cover is what is a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction occurs when atoms or molecules come in contact with each other. These interactions can create new substances and exhibit visible changes. Some evidences that a chemical reaction occurred include the formation of bubbles or solids, a color change, and even the absorption or release of heat. So it either gets really hot or it cools down. Chemical reactions can form ionic or covalent compounds. Ionic compounds occur when a metal and a nonmetal come in contact with each other. In this reaction, one element is going to take the valence electrons of the other element. Remember, our valence electrons are our outermost electrons, or the ones farthest away from the nucleus. This taking of valence electrons forms a strong bond through opposing charges. When naming ionic bonds, we always name the metal's full name first. Then we shorten the nonmetal and add the "ide" suffix to it, or "ide" ending to it. So if I have sodium and chlorine, a metal and a nonmetal, and I want to make a compound together, when they come together, they form NaCl. NaCl, if I'm naming it, that would be naming my metal first, sodium, and shortening my nonmetal, chlorine, to chloride. So it'd be sodium chloride. Now, what if I want to write a chemical equation for an ionic compound? When we're given a chemical name like lithium nitride, first thing we're going to do is write down each of our elements. So lithium, Li, and nitrogen, N. Next, we're going to put our oxidation on top. So lithium has a +1 oxidation, nitrogen has a -3. We cross them, take away the signs, and that forms the formula. So Li3N1 would be the chemical formula for lithium nitride, except in chemistry, whenever something is a 1, we don't put any subscript, so it'd be Li3N. So that would be lithium nitride's formula. So that's ionic compounds. Covalent compounds are between two nonmetals, and they occur when valence electrons are shared between both elements. So part of the time, the valence electrons are going to spend in one element, while part of the time they're going to spend their time in the other element. Depending on the number of valence electrons that we share, we can form single, double, and triple bonds. So if an element shares one valence electron, it's a single bond. If it shares two, then it's a double. If it shares three, then it's a triple. Now, how do we name covalent bonds? Well, with these, they're pretty easy. They follow kind of the same way that our ionic compounds form. So if we're given, let's say, CO2, okay, first thing we're going to do is write our first nonmetal out all the way. So in CO2, that would be carbon as our first element. Then we shorten our second one, put the "ide" ending, so that'd be oxide. Then, if we remember back from our covalent bonds, we add prefixes to tell us how many there are of it. So CO2, there's 2 oxygens because of the subscript 2. That 2, the prefix for 2 is di, so that'd be carbon dioxide. So there is how you write the names for them. If I'm going to make a formula, if I'm given the name, all I have to do is just read the name out and put my prefixes as subscripts. So if I have, let's say, carbon tetrafluoride, okay, then I would put C for my carbon, fluorine's F, tetra means that there's 4 fluorines, so it'd be CF4. Now that we've reviewed those quick concepts, we can go into this unit and learn how to illustrate these reactions and show more in depth what's going on here. So keep up the good work, and I'll see you next time.